Vampires and vampirism. The hunger did not begin in crypts, it learned to dress itself in daylight. We called it vampire so we could shelve it with capes and coffins, a bedtime monster made safe by fiction. But the word is older than costume, older than cinema. It is a shape our ancestors gave to a pattern they could feel but not name. The few feeding on the many. Youth siphoned into age, the living bled to keep something else from dying. If the myth is a mask, it fits because the face beneath has not changed. Blood, they said. But blood is only the first translation. Blood is lineage and contract, oath and inheritance. It is time in the body, the clock dissolving grain by grain. To covet blood is to covet continuity. Once the hunger wore crowns and traced its ancestry like a chain of keys. Now it wears lanyards and patents, shakes hands beneath lighting that makes everyone look immortal. In the boardroom, the glasses are ruby. In the lab, the lights are winter blue. In the green room, the creams promise renewal. Nothing drinks from a throat. Everything drinks from a calendar. The old stories insisted on rules. A vampire cannot cross a threshold unless invited. Listen to the modern versions of that law. Consent boxes we tick without reading. Terms we accept to enter our own lives online. Signatures we offer to be seen, to be served, to be counted. We invite what will enter us. We tap agree and feel the small relief of belonging, as if safety were a subscription. By night, the monster waited at the lintel. By day, it waits in the glow of the rectangle, asking politely for permission to feed. Sometimes the ritual is literal enough to sting. A clinic whispers of rejuvenation. A startup trades on youth as a commodity. A private dinner serves performance art in which red means rebirth. The language is medical. The brand is wellness. The promise is years returned to those who already owned most of them. Elsewhere, a camera's flash freezes a gala moment, a chalice motif, a crimson sash, a wink to those who speak heraldry. Perhaps it is only theater. Theater is how power rehearses. Ancient sites, remember. Stone circles that count moons. Platforms that once met the sun with knives and songs. Megaliths aligning bone and star, as if the earth itself were a body and the sky its pulse. We tour these places with audio guides, neutralized by plaques. But a rumor survives the tour. Once something gathered here to take what it called sacred. It always calls itself sacred when it requires a sacrifice. The coincidences repeat with the patience of tide. Legends of night people who drain. Across cultures that never wrote each other letters. Eclipses that find their way into schedules more often than chance should allow. Disappearances that bloom where war and wealth collide, where records go to lose their names. Perhaps these are only the patterns a frightened mind makes. Or perhaps fear is what the pattern prefers. Fear is high calorie. Then there is the quiet harvest no story needed teeth to tell. Not blood but attention. Not veins but nerves. A machine we cradle rewards outrage with reach. Grievance with fuel, despair with perfectly tuned ghosts that follow us from room to room. We do not wake with punctures on the neck, we wake with nothing left for the people we love. The mirror says we did not sleep well. The mirror is right. One more scroll, one more sip of the feed. The modern vampire farms, it does not hunt. It prefers you to plug yourself in. Religion knew this long before science would speak its name aloud. Wine taken as blood, bread taken as flesh, stone creatures with bat wings crouched on church gutters, guardians or jokes depending on whether you can read their faces. The message is older than doctrine. Every community must decide what it will give to be held together, and who decides the price. Somewhere along the way, the ceremony of care became a ledger of extraction. The hungry learned to call that extraction virtue. We learned other parables from the old tales. That a mirror reveals what refuses to self-reflect. That sunlight ends spells. That garlic and wild roses and water invited across a threshold can break a claim. Translate them. A mirror is simply awareness that cannot be spun. Sunlight is transparency that does not blink. Garlic is community. Its stubborn fragrance of the ordinary life the hunger cannot live. Running water is time that will not stop for anyone. Not even those who believe they have purchased more of it. Ask how the hunger enters and you will find a door you built. The invitation is rarely grand. It is an unchecked box. An hour you meant to keep for yourself surrendered to a screen. A laugh at a joke that made someone small. A loyalty to a crest that never once bled for you. A wish to be chosen by a room that eats the chosen. This is not a call to sharpen stakes. The thing you fear does not sleep in a coffin. It sleeps in habits. It is the ritual at the office that demands you leave your body at the door. It is the party that requires a mask so complete you forget which face belongs to you. It is the policy that names itself protection, while it quietly counts what you can spare. And yet the cure in the stories was humbler than the curse. Open the curtains. Say no at the threshold. Share what you have with the living so the dead promises cannot claim it. Give your blood to the emergency ward, your hours to the child, your patience to the friend who almost canceled. Feed what feeds you. Withdraw the invitations from what does not. The vampire survives because it adapts, because it learns our new languages of consent and costume. But it still needs the same two things it always needed, a darkness to hide in, and a yes. Darkness is simple enough to starve. Light the room with questions that cost you something to ask. As for the yes, guard it like breath. Do the fanged exist? Perhaps not as the old ballads swore, but the structure they taught us to see has never left. The extraction disguised as care, the ritual that asks the weak to donate their endings so the powerful can postpone theirs. If myth is a mask, it is also a map. Follow it to the door you keep forgetting you can close.